The show is about to begin.
I just want to win. That's it. I mean, whatever that takes, whatever that's going to be, whatever that's going to look like.
We're very respectful of where we're going and the team that we're playing. We know what's ahead of us. We know either way we're going back to Philly and we're going to have to win baseball games there.
And Pham sends one deep into left field, and that one's going to fly. That ball's hit well into left field. That one is way back there, and Gurriel goes deep.
This NLCS turned into more than what many people expected it could be. Let's talk it out. No holding back. It's Diamondbacks Phillies Game 6 Foul Territory post-game show.
You are now listening to Foul Territory. Welcome to the show.
Wow. So Torey Lovullo, Diamondbacks manager, said that they weren't flying back across the country to get their asses kicked. Successful so far. They kicked Philly's ass in just about every way. That game was not very close at the final there. Merrill Kelly was a total stud. And Kratz, I know you live about 45 minutes away from the ballpark, but sometimes you said you can hear what the crowd's like in Philly. Was it a very quiet evening in your neighborhood?
Yeah, there's a lot of tears everywhere. I gotta make sure I can make it out of my house, flooding all around my house because of all the tears. No, this is a shocker for Philly fans that are going to need to have an entire day of sulking on talk radio because tomorrow night's going to be a Game 7, 8 o'clock piece.
What are they going to do? They're going to cry. There's a lot of crying right now.
There's crying right now, literally now in the chat.
Because people, I mean, me included. Listen, first of all, I didn't think they would get back to Philly, but then not only did they get back, the Diamondbacks went out and whooped them, kind of like the Rangers are whooping the Astros right now. But I've said all along, when you're the team that's down, you got to score first, right? Nola looked dominant the first inning. Merrill Kelly walks Schwarber, walks Harper, gets through it, and then Pham and Gurriel back-to-back Jimmy Jacks off Aaron Nola, and they never looked back. I mean, this is how you – if you're a road team and you're the team that's not expected to win, this is how you draw it up, and the Diamondbacks nailed it.
Game plan perfection. How about our conversations on Foul Territory earlier in the day, Kratz, about how they might have to circle two names instead of one? Well, they did. I mean, first inning is where the Phillies have been punching people at home. I mean, in this series – they had first inning homers in both games at home against Arizona. And this time they're like, oh, who are the two dudes that do most of the damage? Yeah, we're not going to really give them anything to hit. And it worked out for them. Merrill Kelly walking both Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper and choosing to deal with some other bats in the lineup. So I guess you can avoid two dudes in a lineup, even if they're towards the top.
I was surprised not surprised they did that, but I was surprised that he got through Turner as well as he did, because Turner's owned Merrill Kelly. He has crushed him, and he just a lot of weak contact fly balls, and they were clearly not going after Schwarber and attacking Turner to not go after Harper until they got a lead. Then they get a lead, and all of a sudden you can throw to these guys, and it was well executed plan by the Diamondbacks.
It was. And you know what's crazy? For Arizona, it wasn't just what Kelly did, and we'll talk about removing him later on. It's suddenly the power's back. We saw that early, and Tommy Pham back in the lineup for them. We just saw his homer followed by Lourdes Gurriel on two different pitches from Nola, who was just okay and kind of looked like regular season Nola, where he was giving up home runs, just missing some pitches over the middle, like a spinner that we saw in that curveball. But then also later on in the game, they're running. So now they're running. They strike early, which is an A.J. Pierzynski key, and really just a key in this postseason. Just not many comebacks, except for Arizona. So they finally get to a Philly starter, and look what happened.
What did I see? The first time they had a run, they had a lead off a Philly starter the entire series was today. Because the two games they won, they scored late to take the lead.
Yep.
1 and 2, Nola and Wheeler both dealt. So I think tonight was the first time they had a lead when the Philly starter was in the game. And sorry, Dusty Baker's taken out Javier 1 and 1/3 of an inning. Sorry, I know we're talking about one game. I know, but
Focus.
I know. Sorry, but
Well, this is the beauty of it. This is the last day that we have 2 games on one day in the playoffs this year, and really just the last multi-game day of 2023. So obviously AJ's going to have trouble focusing.
I have trouble focusing every day, so this
Exactly.
is nothing new for me.
Are the Phillies focused though? Are they in a good place for Game 7? They didn't have to use their dudes. That's the one thing. It wasn't super close, so it was low leverage for everyone. I mean, Craig Kimbrell got in the game, and they love him in Philly now. Holy shit! They acted
Well, we were
like
wondering,
they blew their whole season.
Remember the show earlier today? We were wondering how are they going to use Kimbrell. They got to find a way to use him. Well, I guess Rob Thompson's like, well, you're pitching down 4 in the 8th.
That is a good time to use him.
Yeah.
8 an inning for them, and he got by.
He's not important right now. So you know what? This game was out of hand. We're going to bring in Kerkering. We're going to bring in Kimbrell. I mean, that's a nice problem to have. If you can bring in Kimbrell and Kerkering as your 2, hey, we need you to mop up these innings. Lorenzen, we need you to mop up these innings. Hey, Soto, I want you to throw 101 mile-an-hour bowling balls up there. But if the Diamondbacks lose tomorrow night because their bullpen gets shelled a little bit, is it going to be because they took Merrill Kelly out, who had just struck out the 2 beasts in their lineup, and he was done after 5 innings? Like if he gets 6, maybe Sewald or Ginkel don't come in the game. Ryan Thompson now through 2 innings, not high stress. He was very dominant, and I don't know how anybody ever hits him. But, man, I just – in that case, you have a great lead. Send them back out. Go and get as many outs as you can get with that guy. You're playing with house money.
I want to be clear. This is not a get off my lawn show. Sometimes we have lawns that we shoot people off of, but I'm pretty new school. I would say I'm pretty progressive with rules and strategy. 90 pitches. If you're not going to let a guy eat now, when? Merrill Kelly is not a baby. He's been around the block. He's in his 30s. He's worked really hard to get to this point. He was fucking pissed. So pissed that I think it could even affect him in the next round. Not that he's not going to pitch well and there's a chip on his shoulder. It's just like, why? Why, dude? It's not a 1-run game. A solo homer doesn't burn you. A 2-run homer doesn't burn you. Batter to batter.
I agree. I thought he should have gone hitter to hitter, especially after he dominated the 5th inning. I don't know why you don't say, okay, because you had some righties coming up too. That was the other thing. So you had, I think, Bohm coming up. You had Bohm, Stott, and then Castellanos, Real Muto. So you could have given him, I mean, if he sneaks another inning out for you, every out he gets is huge for tomorrow, right? Because Thompson threw 2 innings, and I mean, listen, I know they're big leaguers and they're adults and they should be able to throw back-to-back days, but there is also data that shows the second day they're not as effective. Plus, it's another look for the Phillies at these guys. So I don't know. I mean, listen, Troy Lavella knows the team better than I do, but, man, I thought they should have at least gone hitter to hitter for the next inning.
But people that believe in that, Kratz, are going to say, script worked, ha. But the script is for that one scenario. It's not keeping in mind what Game 7 could look like. So, hey, sure, they've talked through all this stuff. That's the decision that Arizona made. It just seemed quite unnecessary. I don't think they end up losing the game if Merrill Kelly pitches the next inning and gives up anything, even a rocket. It's like, okay, it's 5-2. I still think they would have been okay, but whatever. I mean, Kelly also looked like he was getting better as the game was going on.
He was pissed.
Oh, he was pissed when he got taken out. But, dude, he has 6 pitches. They were all fucking working. And then later on, he's getting guys on curveballs that they hadn't seen at all. He was mixing the changeup in later on. That was a classic starting pitching performance where you start early with some of your pitches, then you start incorporating more of them. Right, Kratz? Weren't you like a proud catcher watching that game plan?
No doubt. When he hung that curveball to Schwarber, he kind of turned around after hanging that curveball and was like, okay. Struck out Schwarber on a hanging curveball. You're sitting there like, I'm just going to heat check here. I'm going to see what else I can get past these guys. But my whole thing with the pitching, especially in this scenario, and we're always going to second guess because that's what's fun, is if you see that he is doing unbelievable. You see he is dominating. The numbers say he's dominating. His stuff looks like it's still working. why do they not take the same approach with hitters who are hot? Like right now, Ketel Marte is he's not a 400, he's not a 400 hitter. But right now in the postseason, he's hitting 400. So wouldn't conventional wisdom through analytics say, oh, well, you got to move him down in the order because he's going to start to regress? No, a guy gets hot, they move him up in the order. So why is it so much different for pitchers who are going well? Because history says they're going to do bad? Well, history says that Ketel Marte is not going to get any hits the next game. But that's not the case. You're riding Ketel Marte. So why can't you ride that pitcher if he hasn't reached a pitch count that is legitimate?
Okay, and
well, that's like apples and oranges.
Why? Because hitting and pitching.
Because hitting him, you can't move. You could tell Marte hits second. What are you going to hit him first and get him more at bats? I mean, it might be one more at bat.
No. He's so hot. You move him down. You get him out. Because
law of averages,
law of averages. Well, that's what they're playing with.
You're not going to get overexposed the same way.
Yeah, the problem you have to understand is that, first of all, the way we've talked about this on Foul Territory, that the problem is the way people are developed. They're not used to it. They're taught third time through. Oh my gosh, third time through. I can't pitch third time through. They're in the minor leagues. They're taught this way. They're taught that they can't do it. Instead of teaching guys and developing guys, hey, maybe there is a guy every once in a while that can get through some stuff.
This guy, player
this
of the
guy
game.
Can.
Player of the game, Merrill Kelly. Run it for a sec.
Foul Territory Player of the Game.
Congratulations, Merrill. I mean, you're right. I guess he technically went through the minors, but then failed with the Rays. So he learned in Korea, and maybe they let him pitch a little more there.
He's been great.
He can go deep in games. He has 6 fucking pitches. They were all working. What else do you want? But whatever. I don't want to complain too much about it because they won the game. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I do get what we're all saying, though, on how that could affect the next day. So 2 questions as we look forward here. Merrill Kelly did his thing for 5 innings, 1 run allowed. Good work. What does it look like going forward for this ball club? Because it's been Gallen and Kelly and now Fott.
Fott pitched great, though, in Game 3.
Right. Who has great stuff and pitched well.
But so is Ranger Suarez for the Rangers.
Ranger Suarez has been great.
Rangers for the Ranger. For the Phillies. He's been their best. Ranger's been, for the last couple of years, he's been really good. I'm not going to say the best.
In the playoffs. No, Wheeler's the best.
In the playoffs.
Fott's the best probably option at this point if he shows you what he did.
That's all they got. I mean, that's really all they got, unless they're going to start at one of the lefties.
Yeah. No. It's definitely Ranger and Fott. No doubt about it. But how do you weigh one?
Both these managers are going to be so quick to the hook tomorrow. I mean, they're going to. Torey Lovello is going to have a rocket up his rear end to get out there and get Fott out, and so Rob Thompson will have a little smaller of a rocket up his rear. Yeah, but they're both going to have rockets up their butt because their front offices. And listen, again, we're not get off our lawn types, but this is the way the game is played now. And they are going to be just waiting to get the bullpen in the game. It is going to be, how fast can we get to our bullpen?
First batter of the game, Corbin Carroll gets on base. They will have somebody loose.
Not Rob Thompson. You think Topper's like that
tomorrow?
With Dombrowski?
Yes, tomorrow, yes.
But I'm saying yes. I mean, you're all hands on deck, but don't you think that they'll be maybe a little less aggressive than the Diamondbacks would be if there's guys on in terms of taking a guy out? No?
I mean, less aggressive? Okay, guy gets on, 2-run dinger, you're down 2, panic at the disco. I think it will be actually opposite. I think Rob Thompson will be less panicked because he has so many horses to go to in the pen. I think Torey's going to be in the dugout going like this, like, come on, please, Fott, just get it. Get another out. Because I don't want to go to – they don't have the same length. And they can't use – Thompson, if he didn't throw tonight, if they had won 12-1, Thompson, I think, could have gone out there for 3 innings. The way he was throwing tonight, it was easy peasy. He was just dishing out swords left and right. But now I assume he'll probably go 2. I just am afraid of how effective he'll be if he has to go that much. But, where else are you getting your innings? Frias didn't work out last time. Nelson hasn't pitched much.
Castro.
The Nelson brothers, Saul Frank.
Castro pitched.
Thompson, Castro.
In that bullpen game.
It's going to be pretty much a bullpen game.
I don't know if
but
it
the
will.
question
Not
for
if Fodd's good,
not if Fodd's
though.
dealing. I know Toro will try, but trust me, they're going to have it set up to where he could. It's going to be one
the
time
moment could get big for him and he could get lit up. I don't know.
So could Ranger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's game 7.
It's game 7. Anything can happen.
But here's the thing about the Phillies. You're saying that they have more horses, Kratzy, but I can't look at Merrill Kelly and not see Woogie from a long time.
I know, Dom.
I mean, something about
Dom
Mary,
Woogie.
but that's a whole different thing. Especially when his eye starts closing up on the one eye starts closing when he sees Cameron Diaz in the eye. But I digress. You talk about all these horses. Well, they used one of them tonight in Lorenzen. He's probably down tomorrow. I mean, they used Soto. They used Kimbrel.
All one inning.
Down, but
yeah, but
everybody.
Lorenzen's been a starter. I mean, I know he's been a reliever, but he's been a starter all year.
I don't even know if he's in their top 5 anyway.
Here's the thing: if Kimbrel gets in the game tomorrow,
no,
the Phillies are in trouble.
They are not.
I love Craig Kimbrel.
In a close
I love Craig Kimbrel, but if Kimbrel's in the game tomorrow, the Phillies are either winning big or losing big.
But let's do math to cover here, Kratz, because we can, and also it's game 7, so you extend dudes, right? So if there's anyone I'm missing here that can go extended, let me know also. Sir Anthony Dominguez can go up to 2 innings, correct? Most likely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's already 2. Alvarado?
Yep.
So that's already 4. I mean, we mentioned Soto. Who else do you want in high level?
You can get innings from Soto. You can get Hoffman.
So that's 4, 5, 6. All right, we already came up with 6 innings from their high leverage.
That's
guys.
counting all of them go perfect.
Right, and also you don't necessarily need that. I mean, if Ranger Suarez gives them 4 or 5 innings, then you'd prefer 1 inning out of some of these guys. But
of course,
Alvarado and Sir Anthony alone, if they've got the good stuff, could be a problem.
If the Phillies get 4 out of Ranger, and the Diamondbacks get 5, each of those teams will win.
Yeah.
Phillies get 4 out of Ranger, Diamondbacks get 5 out of Fott. Yeah. I mean, that would be the Fott's dealing, and that would mean Rangers dealing. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about Ketel Marte? Are you handling him like Yordan Alvarez and some others? Because he's the dude that's consistently beating you. Like, for me, enough. I mean, he did it again in 2 different at-bats, especially the second one. There was a base open. You just say someone else has to beat us consistently here.
Well, the problem is that Marte, he's not hitting homers. He's just he's singling you to death.
That's why they're avoiding.
And that's why they're not like, we're gonna pitch to him. They're gonna pitch to him because they're like, he's not doing major damage. He's just base hitting him to death. Yeah, although he did hit a piss missile off down the right field line off Lorenzen. Was that off Lorenzen?
I think that was off.
It had to be. Or Nola.
That was Nola.
Off or Kirkering. What's his name?
Kirkering. The second one was off Kirkering, the RBI single up the middle.
What was the one he hit? The piss missile he hit down the right field corner with a triple. That was off Nola, right? Because then they took him out after that.
Yes. That was off Nola.
And who had the game-winning hit, as said, on foul territory today?
Tommy Pham?
Nope. Who did I say was going to have the game-winning hit?
Lourdes Gurriel.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tommy Pham made it 1-0. I don't understand. How does this work?
No. They tied it up. They scored a run. So Tommy Pham's
making run.
Yeah.
The second run.
It's the one who goes to put you ahead.
No.
Right. Lourdes.
No, so, it was 1-0 when Tommy Pham hit his.
But then they got a run, so that doesn't hold.
So the add-on run is the biggest run.
Yes. So Lourdes Gurriel going back to back. Thank you, Toronto, says Snakes fans everywhere.
And Gabby Moreno, too. Thank you, Toronto, for Marcia.
Blue Jays fans are literally watching the Diamondbacks in the playoffs just for the dudes that they lost, especially Moreno, of course, since he's a long-term option for many years under team control. But Gurriel's been pretty damn good. Hey, credit to the Diamondbacks. Mike Hazen built a really, really interesting team that is built for 2023 based on the rules and based on a successful playoff club too. I mean, that's the other thing we'll get into a lot in the offseason, but how you build a team that can compete in the playoffs. Diamondbacks are a pain in the ass. They're a pain in the ass.
Tonight is one of the few times, though, where they have acted like the old Diamondbacks of running the bases. They got ahead. They started stealing. Remember we talked about on foul territory? We're like, you just got to chance it. Well, they also got some chances, and they stole some bases, and they
bunting.
Went first to third, bunting, doing things that the Diamondbacks have done all year. We got fooled because they hit so many home runs earlier. That's not what they are.
No.
They are a get on base, steal bases, take the extra base, do all these things, and they did it tonight.
Mm-hmm. So have fun, everyone, watching Game 7, and then swing right back to Foul Territory's YouTube channel after any game the rest of the way in the postseason. So after Astros and Rangers, after Phillies and Diamondbacks Game 7, and after every World Series game, we'll be here for you to do a little bit of this, and we'll answer some questions at times. But we got some ball to watch. So we will see you after the next game, Rangers, Astros, Game 7, on FT's YouTube channel. And you can watch us every single day, 1 to 3 Eastern, on Foul Territory.